Alright, so this is going to be my first attempt at any kind of programming format, where on Mondays I'm going to do two of the MOTU classics figures. We're going to call it like Mad Mattel Masters Monday or Maddie Masters Monday or something to that effect, where I can knock out two of these Masters reviews on a Monday, trying to catch up on all my Masters figures. I've been working in the yard, so I'm going to apologize for my fingernails in advance. But anyway, this is a Icarius, which is a play on Icarus, from the Greek god who built his wings out of feathers and wax, flew too close to the sun and died horribly. Originally he was called Flipshot, way back in the New Adventures cartoon and the toy line. He was part of the Galactic Protectors, one of the good guys that worked with He-Man. So far I have Optic out of the packaging, he's been reviewed. Slushhead, he's been reviewed, and still has water in his head. I'll do an update whenever I do the New Adventures He-Man. And then Icarus. So we've only had 4 New Adventures figures released so far, which is fine. Because as far as I'm concerned, as long as we get Hydron, Skeletor, and we got He-Man already, and what's his name, Flog, and I can't think of anybody else. As long as we get those characters, I'll be happy. I don't really need any more. Like, I never had these toys as a kid. I never cared for the cartoon. My kids don't even care for the cartoon now. I mean, they like everything, but they wouldn't watch this. I think I got the DVD set for like $4 on Amazon. So that just lets you know. I watched the pilot episode, and I'm good. But yeah, it shows the other guys on here. Has his card, which I'll do a still shot and do a slideshow. And there we are. And we'll pop them out of the package and check them out a little more closely. And we have Flipshot, or Icarius. I'm going to call him Flipshot throughout the video because we all know he's Flipshot. Out of the packaging. He's got some really cool accessories. The one thing that Maddie did not put on the box was the fact that it was a pain to get him out of the packaging. I mean, first thing I do is remove the little removable missiles out of here, which we'll take those out and talk about them first real quick. But it's essentially just a... I never have my little background when I need it. But we'll just do the hand. It's a little missile, flick fire. Basically, you can kind of flick it out of there. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Each one of these comes out, and you put it in either way. Like so. Yeah, but he's super hard to get out. You had to take those out, and then the wings are all wanting to bend and flop around. And all that, but yeah. So he comes with this jetpack, which we'll go ahead and finish looking at this. We started with that. And it has articulated wings. So you can go up and down, whatever, you know. Maybe you want to put it on the water. I don't know. But yeah, pretty neat. It has like a really interesting plug-in, like socket, I guess, for this. Has nice detail on it and stuff. And you can see that's how it hooks onto the back of the figure. It has like a nice chunky plug that sticks out. So it makes a really good solid connection, and there's no question on how it goes on there. And going on to the missiles, we'll go and take the whole gauntlet off. Move him out of the way again. And then we'll look at just the missiles themselves, which these separate off. And they look like your standard Sparrow type missiles almost from the 80s. Just the fins on the front are a lot longer. Instead of 3, the Sparrows had 4. And I wish I had a Sky Striker out so I could show you, because it has some pretty decent Sparrow missiles. The Sidewinder missiles are actually a lot smaller. So this is kind of almost like a hybrid of those two 80s missiles, which would have been on the F-14 Tomcat, as piloted by Iceman. Cameo! We'll talk about that in a second. And then he has his arm gauntlet thing. A lot of nice detail on there. Of course, the backside is not detailed, but let's see. China, which is cool, and it has like a D slot. 2 double D slots, actually. Double D slots. And it just plugs in. And last but not least, his visor, which is detachable. It has a couple little knobs on the side, a couple of divots on the side of the helmet, and right here it looks almost like a Flash Gordon 30s kind of superhero dude, or even maybe even part of the was it the Centurions or whatever that came out with the modular armor and stuff? Had a similar kind of look, so it's kind of neat. But yeah, translucent pink visor. It's articulated up and down like that. And then this last accessory is his Val Kilmer style head, which for some reason it does not want to snap off and on very easily, but there he goes. And it does look like a classics rendition of Iceman. So, I don't know. Maybe I have to dig out my Vicron, or what's his name? Who's the doggone triple pack dude? Because you had Vicor and Vicron. Was it Vicron? And dig out his flight version and swap out that crazy Boba Fett head and put his on it. But anyway, I digress. So, a really cool sculpt, a lot of detail. I mean, really nice looking. The original toy had almost had like a part, kind of a hairstyle, and they went for a straight up 80s Val Kilmer man, which totally matches the F-14 missiles. So that's pretty cool. I didn't think I was going to like this figure. I didn't think I was going to care for any of the New Adventures figures at all in the Classics line, but the line is just so awesome. They have, for the most part, a really good contiguous kind of look to them. They're all, you know, similar stylings and everything, and I really dig it. I was really not wanting to like them that much, but I do. You also notice that his hands are two different colors, which is cool. I didn't check on the old toy to see if the old one was done the same way, but I'll look at it real quick, and then I'll put a little text thing right across here somewhere where my finger's hovering, and we'll say something about that. But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if you're going to have a missile on your arm, you're going to have your protection on there. You know, maybe he needs his other arm bare for other flight controls and stuff. You know, for sensitivity, being able to feel what's on his suit and stuff. And yeah. Not to say that this face sculpt isn't awesomely done, but it is. Awesome sculpt, awesome paint. It looks great. He's a really nice figure. The only thing going against him is the fact he's part of the not so popular, or not as popular as the Filmation, or I'll go ahead and say it, the 2000X series, which I think that was my favorite out of the three. Actually, four. If you count Princess of Power, as far as quality and everything, I think I like the 2000X MYP cartoon. The Filmation I'm more familiar with, but I mean, it's right there tied with the Princess of Power, which my kids like that better than they like the He-Man series. And of course, lastly, the New Adventures. Yeah, but back to the figure. I mean, overall, I mean, it's awesome. You got a lot of great detailing at the red stripes on the pack here. His little turbofan inlets there are a nice metallic blue. Same with the toes, you can tell there. He's got blue toes. At first I thought it was paint scraped off of his feet, revealing like they had done his feet in blue plastic and painted it, but no, it's actually purposely painted. Same metallic blue is on his body there. Looks really good. Has like a nice, elegant simplicity to his basic figure with all this added detail by his add-on parts. Really cool. So, on number system, I probably give this guy I'm going to say like an 8 out of 10. Primarily going to knock points off because this thing is so removable, and doesn't really line up sometimes, and the fact that this is so hard to come off here. I mean, it's kind of like stupid stuff. I mean, but the missiles I think could have been done a little bit better, but they're okay. I mean, they're all right. It looks good. I mean, I don't know. Why wouldn't I give him a 9? Let me think. I don't know. We'll bump up to a 9. I think he's a 9.0. For a figure all in itself, he's a 9.0 with all the accessories, extra head, great sculpt, great paint. I've jiggled around with all his joints and everything, which he has all the standard articulation, which I'm not going to go through. But he has all the standard stuff, including oh shoot, I might as well go through part of it. He does have a boot swivel, which on mine, the paint was stuck on there really good, so I had to crack the paint. Like I had to like wiggle the leg back and forth till I physically, or literally, heard the paint crack. And then, hopefully it was the paint. And then he swiveled after that. But yeah, other than that, he has like all the same articulation. Wrist swivel, single point elbow, swivel bicep, hinge, ball hinge shoulder, ball jointed head, of course. Ab crunch, which is a little bit hindered by the armor somewhat. Twist, there goes his visor. He has the classics, like ball swivelly, hingy hip thing, single point knee, and of course back down to the boot cut and the ankle pivot, and has a bit of a rocker there too. So hopefully you can see all that. Hopefully my hand wasn't in there. But yeah, 9.0 for the Masters of the Universe Classics from the New Adventures era, as part of the Galactic Protectors series, or faction rather, is Icarius, or Flipshot. And there he goes. Awesome figure. If you don't have one, you can get one. You can get them on eBay and Amazon pretty cheap. I think I've seen these guys as low as 20 bucks, 15, 20 bucks. It's actually a really cool figure. So if you just need a bunch of random bucks, this would be the guy to go to, I think. He's just not that popular in the collector market, but I think he's a great little toy, and I know my kids, which have not had a chance to play with him yet, are going to love him. There you go. Thanks for watching. Oh, and welcome to Mad Maddie Monday. And there we are. And we'll pop them out of the package and check them out a little more closely. There's got to be an easier way to say that without saying, I don't know. Somebody submit me a catchphrase for checking out a figure. Anybody.